If you've been tuned into the channel, then you already know who it is. It's your guy Libs back with another video. And today I'm going to explain to men why you should never argue with your woman. This video is primarily for men that are alphas, men that are strong men, not weaker version of man. This video is for strong men. The primary reason why you should never argue with a woman is because you're going to lose. You're going to lose that argument. You definitely are setting yourself up for failure if you choose to argue with your woman. And you might be thinking that you're a strong man, you're a smart man, and you can't see yourself losing an argument because you've been debating with people your whole life and you know how to shut shit down. Mostly it's been sports talk that you be debating people with. Things about life, you debate a lot, you give your input, and a lot of people reason with you, and a lot of people respect your opinion and your knowledge of things. So you bring that to your woman and it doesn't work. The very first reason why you're going to lose is because you got no business arguing with your woman anyway. Women are emotional creatures and men are logical creatures. Whatever it is that you're disputing with your woman, if your woman doesn't see your point of view in 5 minutes, I think you should walk away. I think you should just walk away for a while and then come back. Because if you continue to try to get your woman to reason with you, to see your logic, then you're forgetting that you're dealing with a female, with a woman. And if it's something that she feels strongly about, it's a strong possibility that you might have to just back down, even if you think you're right. Just think, you trying to get an emotional being to be logical with you and understand you completely when the emotional being, the woman, feels as though she's right and you're wrong. Now, one thing people in general don't like doing is second guessing themselves. If they feel they're right, then they want to be right. You got to think that even though you're right, you got to fall back. You can't go hard with the woman because you're going to lose one way or the other. There's going to be a lack of communication. You're barely going to be able to explain your point of views because you're dealing with an arguer, someone who wants to win an argument. And you, as a man, most men want peace. If a man just wants to argue and he just thrives to argue with his woman, then that's not an alpha male. That's a beta male. But most alpha males, they just want peace. And I'm trying to tell you guys, if you're struggling to find that peace, then you got to walk away. That's how you find your peace. I seen a post on Facebook and it said, if you connect your top lip to your bottom lip, then you can shut the F up. That's a fact. That's all you got to do. If your logic and reasoning is not getting through to your woman. Because if you keep that strong-willed mind, that same mindset that you have when you're debating with the guys, then what's going to happen is you might wind up breaking your woman down mentally. And she might feel like she has nothing else to say, right? But just because she has nothing else to say and she got all quiet on you, that doesn't mean that you won. See, because that nothing else to say in that period of time and whatever you guys were debating on, it's going to be extended. It's going to be extended for days or even weeks. So you're lost either way. You're going to either you might win the argument in your mind, but now you lost your friend. You lost your person to watch movies with. You lost your person to talk to about things that happen in the outside world. You know, you lost someone to share a joke with, to show a video to. You're lost because the woman, she's not thinking like you. She's going to make sure you lose, even if you think you won. So she shut down, but now she shuts you off. So you're losing. Now you could be the type of man that accepts that, especially if you're not in a relationship. You know, that'll let you know right there if the woman is right for you or not by her reactions to things. But in a relationship, most married people or people that's in long-term relationships, they don't want that. Like I said, a man wants peace. A man wants things to be resolved. And where you're messing up at is by continuously trying to communicate. The lines of communication may be cut off. Every word every sentence you try to start, she's going to cut you off. And then you're not going to feel too good about that. She's going to ask you a question. You're going to attempt to answer that question, and she's going to cut you off before you could answer that question. And after a while of this repetitive cycle of you're saying, let me ask you a question. And then she's going to answer your question for about 5 to 10 minutes. And you're not going to be able to chime in and respond to anything. That, my boy, is arguing. And like I said in the beginning of the video, if you can't get your woman to rationalize with you and see things the way you see it within 5 minutes, then you need to shut up and walk away or change the subject or something, because it's not in a woman's nature to be logical when it comes to something that they want to be right at. They want to win the argument, bro. You're not gonna win. It's only failure at the end of that road right there for you. You know, they'll say anything. And what you're doing, you're listening to the things that they're saying, and you're so logical that the things that they're saying are not making sense to you. It's not making sense to you at all. And guess what? She's not saying it to make sense. That's the part you're not getting. She's not saying these things so that she could sound wise. She's saying these things so that she could shut you up and win the argument. But you're so logical that you're not even realizing this. After watching this video, you should have a different approach to things. A different approach, especially if you have the ability to contain yourself. That's what most peaceful men do. They just try to keep their cool. They could see something happening here, but they're keeping their cool. They're keeping their cool, and they're keeping their cool. And that's a good thing, because as a man, you need to learn how to keep your cool and not be arguing with your woman. The problem is, if you lose your cool and then you start saying things or doing things that you probably regret, things that you wish you didn't say, things that you wish you didn't do, that's what you think about later. And once you lost it, you lost it. And it's hard to get it back. So this is the reason why I say in the beginning, within the first 5 minutes or less, you need to just shut it down or walk away. Because the only way a woman is going to be as logical as you want her to be as if she's a submissive woman. And good luck finding a submissive woman, because if you want your woman to be submissive, then there's a certain way that you have to be. Now, see, a submissive woman, she not going to give you all that sass, all that mouth that you're hearing. You understand? A submissive woman is going to listen to what you said, and she might have something to say when it's her turn to speak, but she not going to argue with you and go back and forth with you, because she knows that's out of place. She knows you're a peaceful man and you don't want to argue. That's what a submissive woman to do, right? And a woman that's not submissive, you're going to get all the mouth that you're getting because she's not submissive. How do I get my woman to be submissive, Lib? Well, I'm going to tell you. If you want a woman that's not going to argue with you, then you got to be responsible for everything. You got to be a true king, someone that takes care of all of her wants and needs. Anything that she wants, she can get it from you. Anything that she needs, she can get it from you. This is a woman that you're not splitting the bills with. She pays this and you pay that. Nah. You got to pay everything, bro. Everything. 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 You got to pay everything. You got to take care of everything. And when I say everything, I'm not going to name things. Just know I'm talking about everything. What's up, my boy? I'm not talking about you. Get down. Get down. I'm telling you, that's the only way you're going to get a submissive woman. And in other cultures where polygamy is accepted, it's okay for a man to have multiple wives, but the stipulation is he has to be able to take care of all of them and the children. If you're not able to take care of all of them and the children, then you technically are not supposed to have multiple wives. And for the people that I'm talking about in this video, men who just have one wife, if you want her to be submissive, you got to be like the man with 8 wives. You got to be able to take care of everything. Other than that, every time she pay a bill and you fussing, she feel like she got authority to speak to you any type of way. She's going to be disrespectful. She's going to yell at you, screaming, throwing fits. And the only reason that this is happening is because you didn't walk away. It's not about giving her her way. It's not about you being a sucker or a simp. It's just about avoiding confrontation. You have to understand that if she's going back and forth with you, then the communication is lost. You need to understand your position, that men are logical and women are emotional. Okay, while you trying to prove a point, she's trying to win an argument. And if you keep feeding into her, then you're going to lose your cool. And now everything is all screwed up. You know what I mean? So I hope that this message hits you in good health. It's your guy Libs. I'll see you on the next video. Peace. I do this.